Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io, or if you want to support them and or get the most up-to-date version earlier, then you can support them on Patreon for I think like $3. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we went into the tunnels, well, the mines, found the bags of rocks, which pretty much cleared my name, at least with our sheriff friend William, and there was some spooky stuff going on in the mine too, like laughing women and sounds like William said it was somebody saying I love you, while my guy said something like aren't you hungry. Did make me look around my room a good once before I went to bed last night, you know. And then anyways, we came back to the sheriff's department? Office? Shack? What would you call it? The sheriff's building. And then spend the night. Because, you know, we done spooked. Is that everything before we start? Yeah, I guess so. Reset. And we good. It doesn't take me long to get back to the hip. Nobody's looking around the front. Oh yeah, another thing. I did my second episode of Echo, which is interesting because it's like, well, they talk about a murder, but then they also talk about a couple other things that happened after the murder. You know, going into World War II and stuff like that. It would be very interesting to play these games alongside each other. Harlan catches my gaze as I walk past the bar, but I make it back up to my room without much noise. I guess it's also the kind of thing of playing Major, Minor, and Winds of Change. Granted, those two have a lot more separations than these games, I guess. I fuss with my whiskers in the vanity. Might be losing my luster from all this stress. At least my chest still looks good. Ooh ooh. Somebody's knocking. It's probably Cynthia. She has a very manly knock. Come in. The door opens, and Madame Doris strides in. My chest tightens. It's good to have you back to us, Sam. When you disappeared into the night with the rest of the town on the cusp of riot, and didn't show up until now, I had begun to wonder if you would. Oh yeah, I turned up the audio for this game just a bit. Though I feel like I should turn it up even more, because it's just barely going up into the yellow. There we go. Maybe just a tad short of that. Because you can kind of hear it with your headphones on, but when you play, like computer audio, you just can't really hear it too much, you know? But I'll keep an eye on it. Actually, might just turn it down a tad. It seems to exponentially go up on that last little bit, you know? It was... okay, sorry. There we go. Last time. I was with William. I look away. He took me into custody. The doe sits on my bed and urgently places her hands on my shoulders. Pray tell, for what? I'm not supposed to say, but he wants me to help him with something. He might need me to visit him more often. Ooh ooh. Madame shakes her head. That man always wants help with something. Let it be said that I will do anything for my girls. I tell him what they tell me. Who's they? Just enough. Oh, you mean you tell the law what the law tells you. And he protects us to the extent of his capabilities. Just enough. Maybe overlooking an expired license here and there. Or lining up the circumstances to expose the adultery of a particularly violent clientele. But in my dealings with William, I've discovered a very curious thing. When my intelligence runs dry, so too does his protection. So always ask yourself this, Samuel. Am I telling him just enough? This way, you'll find he's a more reliable ally. Cynthia pokes her nose into the doorway. Madame? I'm awfully sorry to interrupt, but I was worried sick about Sam. Doria's expression softens. Of course you were, dear. I've spoken my piece to Sam here. I'll give you two some time. I trail off. The trail of her shawl follows her out the room. Cynthia closed the door quietly. Sam, what in the world is going on? First, you explode last night during work. Then you disappear all night? None of this is like you. Like I just told Madame, William took me into custody. No, that's just where you went. You tell me this instant what's going on, Samuel Ayers? Ayers? It's kind of cute when she's angry. You tell me this instant, or you don't ever bother speaking to me again. The number of people who knows just keeps growing. Too many know. But this is Cynthia. Cynthia gets to know. I owe her that much. So I do my best to tell her when I told William last night, beat for beat. I think I'm getting pretty good at recalling these details by now. By the time I'm finished, she's staring back in sadness and terror. My God. Now it all makes sense. They're gonna say this is all your fault. I know. William said not to tell anybody. Maybe he thinks more things will come to light if I don't cause a distraction. I read about William in the papers. He used to be a big-shot detective in the big city. Interesting. Our little old backwater must be cake compared to what he dealt with there. Dora doesn't trust William. What do you think about him? Well, he's a cop, Sam. Of course you can't trust him fully. But he's naive, so I fear him less. I don't understand, really. I wouldn't really see him as naive. He's naive? Huh. Just know that I'm trusting you with my life. You can't tell nobody. I won't. But Madame will probably find out, if she doesn't know already. She always tends to. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I won't let you protecting yourself come from some horrible thief ruin your future. You deserve better. She pulls me into a hug. I can't imagine what it was like to have to bear all that by her lonesome. Just know, now you don't have to anymore. Something in the air changes. It feels less heavy. Tears are welling up in my eyes again. Her eyes. She pulls away from me, then pulls a slip of paper from one of her pockets, like it's just another ordinary day. I have your list. I take the paper from her and look it over. Just 2 clients in the late afternoon, thankfully. Holler for me if you need something. I have a list today, too. I thank her before she leaves. I freshen up for the rest of my day. The desires aren't difficult. One of them just wants a warm mouth, and he comes fast. The other just needs a chest to hold as he pulls himself in me and fills up a condom. Did they have condoms back then? Also, did dudes use condoms back then? You know, with other dudes? I know these days, sure, but I don't know. This my day is easy. Harlane just has me move a few shipped boxes to the back for him. Who's Harlan? Oh, right, the, rabbit. I make sure to let Cynthia and Madame know where I'm going this time. Tonight, it's an awful lot more quiet than yesterday was. No folks out on the porches playing poker. It feels like an awful lull, unsettling lull. Okay, here's an interesting thing. Like, I see pictures of the main character. He looks pretty buff and also a bit grumpy in a bunch of pictures. He doesn't look like a bottom, you know? Now, I guess if you're doing something around here, you might... If you're paying for it, you might be top, you know? Or the calm before a storm. When I reach the front of the sheriff's office, I see Todd, but he must have seen me first. Oh, William said you might be coming around this time, but you're a little early. Oh, you're right, the poker game. He's fine. Come on in. William leads me to his office. In the corner, sitting away from the desk, there's a large round table with 6 stools. He takes a seat, and I sit down directly across from him. I wouldn't have even bothered trying to win tonight. I wouldn't even bother trying to win tonight. What I think you should focus on is trying to figure out what everyone else will do to try and win. You could learn a lot about the players, especially me. Just know I'm gonna fuck with you. Sounds about right. Don stands up to answer the door. A huge shape darkens the doorway. Evening. I'm not as prepared for the surge of emotions when I hear Nick's voice. Relief. Guilt. Fear. I didn't think I was going to see him again for a long time after last night. I smile, but I don't make eye contact. And then he sits next to me. You finally playing a game with us? His scent is particularly earthy today. He must have been working long hours in the mine. Was William's idea. Of course it was. Of course it was. Todd rises again to go towards the knock on the front door. Todd rises again to go towards... Oh, knock. Sorry, I can read sometimes, but sometimes it just takes a while. I hear their voices before I see them. Isn't this locale a bit dreary for a get-together? Todd turns the lights off the oil wick up to brighten the room just a bit, frowning. William hosts the game. William gets to pick the location. Oh goodness, Sam is here? He puts on a sing-song voice. What is a sing-song voice? Are you doing these like 90s movies where everybody does a sing-along? I don't know. I know who I'm sitting next to. I wasn't expecting the room to feel a room full of mine tonight. You mean clientele slash, well, mine and Todd, I suppose. William sighs. When you said you were bringing company, Murdoch, I assumed you meant somebody local. Did you really want to play with Ralph? The coyote grunts. Now who's Ralph? Maybe the 2 arses from before. We're just here for a friendly card game. So I bet it's best to keep it casual for a newcomer. Don't you agree? Look between the both of them. William stares the fox down. I mean, smart point, you know? For the smallest moment, something like a revelation flashes across his face. Then his muzzle curls into a smirk, and he nods. Both knows something I don't. Am I unwelcome here? I didn't say that. But I suspect that he didn't mean it. Beer and parlor games just seem a little lowbrow for a fine fellow from across the pond such as yourself. It's an ocean, not a pond. Wait, I thought that... Is it across the pond an American saying or is it an English saying? It's kind of hard being, an American who has English descent because it's like, well, you hear it both ways, you know? But the train ride was considerable. Cliff slides into the chair beside me. Murdoch sits between him and William. Todd takes the last seat between Nick and William. Hopefully I don't need to remember all this stuff. Yoder starts shuffling a thick, worn deck of cards between his webbed hands. Does anybody need to learn how to play? He looks over to Cliff. Also, a thing I wonder, are any of these people the descendants? Or the people in Echo the descendants of these guys? Granted, it's like, there's an otter here, main character in Echo's an otter, there's a fox here, there's a fox there, I mean common, I guess. There's a ram here, we haven't met him yet, but there's a ram in the following thing. You know what I'm getting at. Looks over the cliff. The weasel glares daggers back at the otter, so he breaks eye contact. Wait, you mean Stoat? I could use a refresher. Been a while. Todd's eyes light up. Of course. Rounds in poker are fairly fast for a card game. After I shuffle the deck, I give each of you 5 cards face down. He gives us 1 card each face down, going clockwise. The objective of the game is to make sure that you have the best hand. Or, most importantly, to make everyone else think you have the best hand. The game is about lying, huh? William's glance meets mine for a second before it turns to Todd. The hard part can be remembering which hand beats which. Yep. 5 of a kind is the best possible hand, but only if you deal with the deck with a joker. It's the wild card. Are we playing the joker in this deck? I feel it can make the game hectic sometimes. I don't mind a little bit of chaos, because I'm a fox. No joker this time, maybe some other week. Right, let me explain the best possible hands. The best possible hand you can get in this game is a straight flush. That means any 5 cards with numbers in a row, all the way from ace to king. And the suits have to be the same. I'm glad I already know what the cards mean because neither ace nor king are numbers. I see sweat on Todd's brow. If more than one person gets a flush, the highest order wins. 4 of a kind is the next best. What? What's that? Todd makes a choking sound. Well, you see... You don't have to explain that, Todd. He's fucking with you. You devil. Well, you see, the next highest is a full house. It's what Todd dreams of whenever he tastes Mr. Green's pies. Now, just hold on a second. Laughter fills the room. Nikolai clears his throat, and all of us go quiet. I feel it's very rude to speak when somebody has explained the rules. Watching Todd squirm brings me too much joy. Proceed. Unbelievable. Sorry, friend. Alright. Listen up, dipshits. The full house is 2 cards of one kind and 3 cards of another. Like 2 kings and 3 queens, and so forth. Next sequence to win is a flush, which means all cards from the same suit. Then a straight, which means just 5 cards with increasing ranks in a row. Then 3 of a kind, then 2 pairs, then 1 pair. Does that conversation of clowns have any particular that word of clowns have any particular questions about the hierarchy of winning hands? Funny enough, I remember the order. I just forget how the sequence of the game goes. You take a look at your card and think about how good your chances are. Betting happens clockwise in turns. You can check, raise, call, or fold. Checking means nobody has you yet, and you're choosing not to use any of your money. Money? How much are we betting? This will be good. Nick pulls out a large potato sack from under the table and empties its contents on the table with a loud clatter. No money, bottle caps. Cliff frowns. Well, wouldn't real money be more exciting? Having things that we do not have would be exciting, yes. Cliff opens his mouth again, but William shoots him a look that makes him shut it. There are more interesting things we could bet besides money. Ooh. Christ almighty. No. Todd, continue. Right. Instead of checking, you can choose to raise. This means every player has to match the amount of chips, or in this case, bottle caps, to the amount raised, and place those chips in the middle of the table. A player can fold, refusing to bet, losing a round, but keeping their chips. How many times are we allowed to raise the bet? Our house rule has a limit of 2 times, with a maximum of 10 chips. Otherwise, 1 round would take forever. Are you ready to begin? Oh, it's hoedown music. I might need to check. Also, this music sounds familiar. Maybe one drunken night I went onto YouTube and it was like, I want to listen to echo music. Because, you know, bad habits and all that. That's what I tend to do. Murmurs of agreement circle the table. Todd deals the cards, and I pick mine up. Okay. 2 kings. That's pretty good. Not terrible, but it could be better. I got a third paw. William is staring directly at me. I'll raise. He flashes me a grin and puts a few chips in the center. I really feel like I have to lower it a bit. That's a bit better, I guess. Murdoch looks calmly around the table. He's like, wow, music's pretty good, you're mostly listening to my voice, you know? Then I have to fold. Cliff lowers, lower lip trembles. I must fold as well. Jesus, you two, you didn't have to fold that fast. I think I'll call. A pair isn't amazing, but 2 kings ain't bad. A shame Cliff and Murdoch didn't show their cards upwards. I fold. Jesus. I'll call. There we go. I'll draw 1. Just 1. That has me a little nervous. Todd too, by the look in his eyes. Maybe William's trying to get a specific combo. I throw away the 9, the 7, and the 4, then push him to the center. Haven't played this type of poker before. 3, please. And another 3, and 3 for me. The other turns his cards over and frowns immediately. William is staring at me with that shit-eating grin, and this time he shows teeth. I bet. I look at my hands and think. Still not looking good. I've already wasted 2 of my 20 bottle caps. I fold. William collects his prize and reveals his cards. I have to suspect they're shit cards. The hand is complete garbage. What the hell? Oh, I could have beat that. Nick is smiling, and Murdoch is holding his chin in his paw. Yo, let me lead you around by the nose. Don't let me do that. Round 2. Murdoch collects his cards and shuffles while William stares at his hand. Starts to hand out the cards from the second deck. I take a look, hoping my luck is a little better at this game. Yeah, it looks like shit. Not great. I'll bet. Then I'll call. Murdoch looks like he's just as confident as William is, but he's probably full of it. I'm a bit tired of these damn dogs yanking my chain. I'm not gonna play their game this time. I fold, and I call. Cliff's whiskers twitch as he hears that. I'm taking 3. Not as much. 3 as well. Just 1. Murdoch watches William draw, smirking. I raise. William sends a smile right back at Murdoch. I call. I have to assume that this time he has a pretty good hand. I raise. William's tail is flicking from side to side, as if he has the other 2 cornered. Shall we reveal? What an excellent idea. Very well. The 3 of them flip. William's 2 pair is higher than Cliff's, but Murdoch has 3 queens. Huh. Didn't you just give us a lecture on keeping you in check? I had better chances that time. Cliff collects his cards as Murdoch deals the shuffled deck. Cliff wrinkles his nose as he stares at his hand when Murdoch deals him his last card. Excellent. I will have to bet this time. That's an interesting card. A Woobus. Let's see. Again, looks like shit. Mother of God. Fold. Nick lets out a pensive hum, looking at me. Call. Raise. If the otter was beaming any brighter, I'd swear he was the sun. Fold. What? No tricks this time? William's smile is toothy again. If that's what you want to think. Cliff does not seem intimidated. Intimidated? Yeah. Nick scratches beneath his muzzle. I fold. Then it's up to me. I'll draw 3. 3 for me as well. And I'll draw 3 too. I see Cliff's eyes widen in excitement. I raise. I'll fold then. I call. Gutter puts this up rather quickly. Show me what you got, sir. I did. Did Todd just look away in embarrassment? And did he blush? No way. I always pictured him having eyes for Miss Greenie. I have no idea who that is. Oh, maybe the pie person. Don't worry, in this universe everyone's gay. Not Cliff of all people. He flips his cards, showing off his hand. 3 queens. Cliff reveals his hand. 3 kings. Oof. Shoot. I thought I had that one. I collect everybody's cards and shuffle while Cliff rakes the bottle caps. No shame in losing in an honorable standoff. I got lucky. Cliff deals the hand. Okay, 2 jacks. That's finally something workable. But isn't that just 2 jacks? I bet. Nikolai chuckles. I call. What? Is he doubting me? I suppose he should, considering all of the lies I've been telling as of late. I feel myself frown. Todd lets out a squeaky sigh. Sorry, sometimes I read faster than my eyes actually do, which doesn't make it easier. This just isn't my game. I fold. I notice Will's ears perk up at that. If his disposition proved after Todd folded, then maybe he needs others to do so badly. So he'll probably call the fake, his hand into the rest of the game. I call. Gotcha. I fold. And so must I. Alright. If William's hand is bad, and Nikolai is underestimating me, then I could actually win this one. I'm drawing 3. Just 1. I don't like that. Is he taking a big risk, or does he have nothing to lose? 3 myself. At least I know his hand is lousy for sure now. He's smiling big, but that was an expression he wore before. That must be the face he puts when he doesn't want somebody to read him. So, in other words, he must have something to hide. He probably still has a lousy hand. Nick just has a really concerned expression. I can't really tell what he's thinking. This looks real good for me. I mean, ooh, 2 pair actually. I bet. I call. Nikolai isn't folding? Well, maybe he thinks his hand is just good enough to beat mine. William lets out a one-note laugh, and then puts on a lilting tone. Then I'll raise. What? Bullshit, William. Bull-shit. Neither of you folded? Well, guess I'm eating shit. He reveals his hand. Cha. 2 deuces. What's a deuce? Pathetic, William. Pathetic. 2 pair. Not too bad. But unfortunately, this deck was stacked against you. He reveals all 4 kings and an ace. Seriously? I had the 4 kings from the start. He wasn't acting distant, he was avoiding drawing attention to himself. I'm really bad at this. It's my turn to shuffle. Wait, who's... I hear a shot. That would be a real ass way to end this one. Nikolai lunges, push me to the floor. Ooh. But yeah, that's a. It's not a change in scene, but it is a scene change. Fuck. And I was gonna be like, I'm only gonna do one of these today. Nope. So that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play, with a nice little card game, confession, and then also one of us getting shot. Or at least shot at. Hopefully it's just shot at. So that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So anyways, please comment, because I like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, always. If you like my YouTube and like see grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out every type of grow. Please remember to spay your ammo so I control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's on itch.io for free. But if you want the most up-to-date version and or support them, you can go to their Patreon, where it's like, what, $3, I think? I'm going to go audio check this game. And until next time, let's be me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. So thanks and see ya.